What's up, everyone? This is the Intoxicated Sports Report. I'm Emerson Hitt. With me, as always, Gabe Samoji. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
Excellent.
Doing good. It's a beautiful day where we're at today here in Napa, California, Johnston Street.
In the great Napa Valley.
We're actually doing this podcast during the day.
Yeah, it's as bright as it's ever been on this show.
Yeah. We haven't done it on a Monday in a while.
Yeah, it's the first Monday in a while.
We usually stick to our Tuesday regimen.
Yep.
But, I know tomorrow's going to be a hard day at work, so I don't really... I would do it on Tuesdays because I usually prepare myself for that.
Yeah.
I thought this week, we'll switch it to a Monday.
There we go. It's my Saturday, so it's time to drink up.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Had a nice little weekend.
Good.
We got together on Saturday.
Yeah, we got together on Saturday. Went and visited Cody and Ashley in Vacaville.
Mm-hmm.
Great time. We showed up there like 8, but we still made the best out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You right?
Yeah, it was just an interesting tasting beer.
What are we drinking?
So this is from Bear Republic. Very famous for the Racer 5 IPA.
Which
And
Racer 5s put me down.
Racer 5s are heavy.
I know your dad's a Racer 5 guy.
Oh yeah, he's always got them in the fridge. This is the NorCal IPA,
Let me try it.
7.3%. It's got some interesting notes going on here. It's almost got like a, I wonder if they put a little lactose in it, because it's got a little creaminess to it.
Ooh. Interesting.
Because I know that's a thing in beers these days.
75 IBUs. What's that?
That's relatively high. But it doesn't taste like, that's the international bitter units.
7.3%.
It doesn't taste overly bitter.
This can reminds me of the end of that 70s show. Like after every episode, it shows like the license plate.
Right. It's got a little trippiness going on to it with it as well, with all the colors.
This is also
well done.
veteran owned, Bear Republic.
Oh, nice.
Does that mean like a veteran owns the company?
I'm guessing so.
Well, good for him or her.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just assume it's a guy.
Right. Could be anybody.
It's a good beer.
Mhm.
Never tried it before. Bear Republic, like you said, does have good beers.
Caught my eye in the store today. I was looking for something interesting.
Sometimes it's about the label.
Yeah, I mean, and I know Bear Republic beer too, so I figured it would be decent.
I love IPAs.
At the very least.
I love IPAs.
A good IPA is hard to beat.
I love an IPA.
Someone asked me what I like. What's my favorite beer? I was like, I don't think I have a favorite beer. I go more for styles than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always kind of have something lighter in the fridge to just throw down.
I think I've said before on this podcast, I'm a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Which we just finished.
It's just classic.
It
Like,
is.
if I go for one beer to drink anytime,
Right.
Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
I do like Sierras a lot. I think similarly to Lagunitas IPA, I get tired of them fast, probably because I've had them so often. But they are very tasty.
And also, it might sound ridiculous, but maybe I like it because I like the color green so much too.
It's a great label. I mean, this thing's classic.
It's a great label. Exactly.
It's a really great label.
Well, I
Let the
think,
camera see.
I think everybody knows.
Just remind everybody.
Yeah, if you don't know this beer from it's called Sierra Nevada. It's pretty popular.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
First and foremost, just give a little shout out to everyone who listened to the last episode.
because we took last week
We did
off.
take last week off. But I would say that we got the most listens in this span of time. I'm calling it 2 weeks or 2 weeks minus a day.
Mm.
That we probably have since like our first or second episode.
Yeah, that's fair. We haven't had. Yeah.
And I want to give credit to Sal for spreading the word since he was on last week,
Yeah.
and he told us that he told some friends about us.
We
so,
appreciate it.
Yeah,
We appreciate it. So if you're listening, if you're a new listener,
yeah, or
We
a returning listener.
or a returning listener, yes,
Yeah.
we appreciate it. We wouldn't really. We said this before. I mean, we probably would still do this if the numbers.
Yeah,
were
we've
really
always
low.
said we don't really do it for the audience necessarily, but there's probably a number that we would cut it off at.
It just feels good that you can listen to a lot of people, and I'm sure you do anyways for any listener.
Right.
But you still choose to listen to us as well
Mhm.
because we're not anything near professional. We put in the work. Emerson puts in a lot of work for this, but we are buffoons at the end of the day.
Yeah. I honestly, it's really funny. I got to tell you this story. I was watching Jalen and Jacoby earlier today.
I love Jalen Jacoby's a good show.
I do like it.
I like
generally.
Jalen.
I do like it generally, but my mom was watching it with me, and she's like, "God, these guys are obnoxious. Like, you guys are way better." I don't believe that because they do it professionally, but I just like.
I don't.
Honestly, when watching the show, like it was not their best episode. I'll just say
No.
that.
I mean, it's
Today,
hard.
yeah.
They do it every day, I think. So
They
it's hard,
do.
It's hard to have it's hard to be consistently good every day. Everybody has an off day.
Your content is always minimized.
and
the more you do.
and content's limited right now for anybody.
Right. It's
At
that
this
dry-
time.
dry
That's
stuff.
why we're taking it every other week as of right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
We appreciate that, Margan, because That's cool. I like Jalen Jacoby.
Yeah, I generally do, but yeah, they were definitely reaching a lot of their content.
Fun fact: Jacoby share the same birthday as me,
Nice.
or I share the same birthday as him.
Nice.
And his favorite player growing up was Bill Buckner. Bill Buckner is from Napa. Talk about a connection. Boom, boom, boom.
How about it?
I need to text Jacoby. Or no, DM.
Yeah.
I'm not going to act like I have his number.
Yeah, you don't?
No. And I like Jalen Rose. He has his opinions. And
Oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree with a lot of things that he says, but he's also good at. He's probably better. He's probably a better commentator than he was a basketball player. And he wasn't a bad basketball player. Like in college,
No.
college he was really good. With
And
the
he had
Michigan
a
team.
decent professional career.
And then I think he won maybe 6th man of the year.
That sounds about right.
He did go to the finals with the Pacers.
Mhm.
So he was a good player.
Yeah, he was a good player.
But I think he was more of a role-ish player when he made it to the NBA.
I think his name has certainly stayed very relevant because of the career he has now.
Well, I think unfortunately for him too, he was on the bad end of Kobe's 81-point game.
Right. And on some tough end of some losses in some big college basketball games.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. But hey, at least his name's in the conversation for something.
That's right.
People know him.
Right. No doubt.
And he was married to Molly Curran for a little bit, so that's a big ups for me on that one.
Yeah, she's obnoxious though.
Well, she's a New York Giants fan, of course she's obnoxious.
I wasn't even factoring that into the equation.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Because she always butts in with Stephen A. And
Oh, she cuts them off all the
who's
time.
even on First Take these days? It's not Kellerman.
I think it's
Is it?
Stephen A. and then they just have a weekly or like every day there's a different guest.
I know they'll bring Chris Russo on sometimes.
Yeah, Chris Russo's like Wednesdays or something. JJ Redick it's the day of the week.
And talking about Chris Russo and Stephen A. together, they're yelling.
Yeah. Well, and Chris Russo is kind of becoming the old white man of ESPN.
He's a Giants fan now.
He is a Giants fan.
He's a Giants fan.
If you haven't heard or seen his rant, I feel like I might have mentioned that on the show before.
I think I've seen him before.
It's amazing.
Is it after they won?
After the 2002 World Series.
Oh, 2002.
He did have another good one,
After
like a
2010.
happy crying rant. But he has an amazing rant. I think it actually might have been after losing in the first round of the playoffs in 2003.
Got
I
it.
think is what it was. To the Florida Marlins of all teams.
Didn't they win the World Series that year? The Marlins? 03?
Yes. Yeah.
So when did they lose to him?
They lost in the divisional series.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
And the last out of the series was made at home plate.
And what? Okay, so the Giants would have scored when the game had been tied.
I think so. I think
Oh.
JT Snow was coming in to score to tie the game, and he tried to run over Pudge. And Pudge, you've probably seen that iconic photo of Pudge like holding the ball up.
Oh,
That's the same play.
Oh, well, I have seen that.
Yeah.
I feel ashamed rocking my Giants jersey or Giants hat today too. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Gage, you want to take away the next part of the intro here?
Yeah. So over the past 2 weeks, we had 2 deaths that were sad.
2 legends.
It was sad, but both of these guys lived long lives.
Right.
And so that's got to be some of the, death happens regardless.
Yeah.
And, so Bill Russell died, Celtics legend, a basketball legend overall.
Right.
And then Vince Scully, the announcer, or most known for announcing with the Dodgers, because he also did
He did other national stuff.
he did football too,
Right.
and all that. He died too over the week or last week, and it's very sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like you said, they both lived long, full lives. So it's hard to be, like, it's certainly emotional losing people like this. But
Bill Russell, I'll start with Bill Russell because he died, I think, before Ben, right?
yes, he was, I want to say, a day or 2 before Ben.
Bill Russell, he just seemed like one of those guys that he'd be around forever.
Right.
And because he's always I feel like every NBA Finals, he was there because of the trophy for the Finals MVP is called the Bill Russell, or the Bill Russell Trophy. Or is
Yeah,
that-
it's a Bill Russell final
Oh,
MVP.
Finals
something
MVP
like that.
trophy.
Yeah.
And it's just when we don't see. I heard Chris Broussard say it pretty well. It's like it was like after Kobe died. He said that basketball players or NBA players just seem to live forever.
Right.
So I think with Bill Russell passing now, this is like the 4th NBA MVP ever to die.
Yeah.
I think it's Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain,
Yeah.
Kobe, and I think now Bill Russell. And these basketball players just seem to live for a long time for some reason,
Right,
which is
right.
great. But so whenever big names like Bill Russell die, it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
because Bill Russell was an 11-time champion, I'll say it again, 11-time champion, which I don't think anybody will ever beat.
Right.
You know, like think about the Warriors' dominance what they've done the past decade.
Oh, yeah.
They've made it to the finals 8 times.
Yeah.
And let's say the Warriors won all 8 of those, and Steph Curry had 8 rings.
Yeah.
He would still be 3 short
Yeah.
of Bill Russell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how much he dominated.
All right.
Michael Jordan only has, or not only, but Michael Jordan has 6.
Yeah.
You know, Bill Russell has 5 more, almost doubled up Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And I understand it was a different time,
Yeah.
but what do we say? You can only play who's in front of you, right?
Right. Yeah. 100%.
You can't control what area you live in or what area you play in. Because I guarantee if Jordan would have picked it, he would have picked that time because he would have won probably 15 championships.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And also, as a 12-time All-Star, Bill Russell was a 5-time. I didn't know this. He was a 5-time NBA MVP.
Yeah. And for a guy that wasn't necessarily known for his offense
No,
either.
I think he averaged like 22.5 rebounds for his career.
That's crazy.
So it was like, you know, I'm
Sure,
sure,
it's
I'm sure he's up there with Wilt Chamberlain.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And he was well known for when meeting Wilt in big games, playing very well against
And
him.
Wilt was a much taller person than
Right.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, I think he had
I think
about
Bill
4
Russell was
inches.
considered to be undersized for his position,
Right. Especially at that time.
but obviously didn't let him get in the way of winning. And I think a lot of those Celtic teams that won those championships, I think there's a few players who have like 8 championships. You know what I mean? That in that era.
Right.
So, I mean, I did not know he was a 5-time MVP.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I wouldn't have guessed it was 5, but I knew that he had at least a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, of course, I think he's on the NBA 75
Right.
team.
Yeah.
I think he was on the NBA 25.
I would hope
and then
so.
50,
Right.
75. He's going to be on every NBA.
Right.
Because once you're on the NBA all-time
They don't
teams,
take you off.
they don't take you off.
Right.
No. Like if they're not taking OJ out of the Hall of Fame, they're not taking you. Once you're there, you're there, right? He also was the first black head coach in the NBA because he played as a player coach.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so I think 2 of the championships that he has, out of the 11 that he has,
Or as a coach.
yeah. And I was under the impression it was the opposite. I thought he had 11 as a player
And then 2 more.
as a coach.
Gotcha.
So it's 11 overall, but he was a coach of 2 of those teams.
Gotcha.
Also, he was a 2-time champion in college basketball.
Right.
In college.
San Francisco.
USF.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Go Dons. Or no.
Dons. Yeah, they're Dons.
Dons, yeah.
I
they're
think
Dons.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Vince Scully. I mean, this man, he was, how old was he? 90 something?
He was 94. He was going to be 95 this year, yeah.
94. Obviously, we're Giants fans. And to me, Vince Scully, he was obviously way before our time.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
certainly.
he was before our time, and he still was
Yeah.
through until last week our lives
Yeah.
this far.
Without bias at all, I was never a big fan of Vin
And I've heard you say this before.
as an announcer. And I think a lot of that just has to do with that he had a very old school style of broadcasting games. But he certainly had a very soothing voice. There's no question about that. But it was, especially in his later years, he was very, to me, I'm just more used to the modern broadcaster. He was very dull and kind of monotone. But he had his quirks and he was
Oh,
funny.
he did it by himself. There
Yeah.
was nobody with him. It's not
Right.
like Vince Scully in our terms. He's like our Krupp and Kuip.
Right.
Those are 2 guys.
Yeah.
And they would say they're not even anywhere
Oh,
close,
yeah.
and nobody does.
Yeah.
Everybody on the radio I listened to this week said Vince Scully is the greatest to ever do it, and he'll be the greatest to ever do it.
Right.
I
But he meant a lot to a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially the LA community.
exactly, and I
Yeah.
think everybody that I heard on the radio said when they met Vin, they just couldn't help but say how much you mean to me
Right.
and what I'm doing in my career.
Yeah.
You've influenced me to do this. And
It's
No.
almost poetic that these 2 guys kind of felt like they went together in a way because they're both very
Yeah.
awesome human beings.
And a lot of people say that Vince Scully was a poet.
In a way,
He
yeah.
would just the way it was perfect.
And yeah, the way he delivered.
Yeah. And one of the guys on the radio was saying how it almost was like the game waited until he was finished. Like there'd be some guy would hit 5 foul balls in a row, right? With 2
While he's telling the story.
Yeah, 2 outs. The guy would hit 5 foul balls in a row,
Yeah.
just so Vin could finish the story.
Right.
So it just seemed like everything went right for him.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And he was good. You listen to him, and he has some of the great calls ever.
Right.
He did Hank Aaron's 715th home run call to pass Babe Ruth.
Right.
He did the catch with the Niners and the Cowboys.
Did he really?
I didn't know that. I've heard the
not
call.
have guessed that.
I've heard the whole like, Clark catches
Yeah.
it, or Montana rolls out.
I figured it would have been one of those classic NFL announcers, but I
No,
didn't
it was
realize that.
Vin Scully.
Yeah.
He also did what I think is my favorite. Well, actually, no. I'm going to tell you this. When I first heard that he died, I thought to myself, my favorite call of his was the Kirk Gibson Game 1 of the World Series walk-off.
Right.
You know, hobbling around the bases.
Right.
He did the pump,
the
which I think is one of the most iconic
100%.
moments in baseball history.
Yeah.
It's perfect. But the reason why I liked it so much because I thought Vin did the "I can't believe what I just saw" call, but
Yeah.
that was actually Jack Buck who did that.
Yeah.
And so they did Vin's call, and he had also had a great call too, but I got him confused. But isn't it amazing that two great,
Yeah.
really great,
And Jack Buck is one of the Alzheimer's as well.
broadcasters
Right.
both had great calls for the Kirk
for
Gibson
one
call.
for one play. Yeah.
Because the Jack Buck probably did the World Series call, and then maybe Vin Scully did the Dodgers broadcast.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
He also did the Bill Buckner blunder.
Did you really? I guess I didn't realize
I
that.
went through Buckner. Yeah. Which
Behind the bag.
Yeah, which I want to bring it back to Bill Buckner. I'm not trying to rip on Buckner because we all know. And Buckner's Napa. He's Napa
Napa
bred.
bred, yeah.
Born in Vallejo, Napa bred.
Yeah.
Buckner was also in left field when Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run for the Dodgers.
I would not have guessed that their careers crossed paths, but I guess that's
Yeah.
probably the end of
That was probably Buckner's
early
couple-
years.
early years.
Yeah.
But talk about Bill Buckner can get all the shit talked about him, but he's been a part of history, and it could be bad,
Yeah.
but he's still part. It's like going back to Jalen Rose.
Yeah.
You're part of history. It's history bad, history good. It's history.
Your name's getting talked about.
So, had to give Buckner the shout out because
Yeah.
he is Napa's finest.
Yeah. One thing I want to throw in about Vince Scully is that he had everyone's respect because, or I shouldn't say everyone's, but this is just a little tidbit that when MLB Network would play Dodger games, they would take his broadcast from the radio and cue it up to the television broadcast.
Okay.
So it was his announcing. Obviously, he wasn't doing television, but he was announcing the game, and while they were showing the live feed on MLB Network of the Dodgers games. So that they were taking his broadcast rather than the regular Dodgers TV broadcast, which I always.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, he's earned that, But yeah, two legends, two icons of their profession.
I had one more thing to say and I fucking forgot it.
About Vin.
Yeah, I had something. I started listening to you and I forgot it. It was gonna be something good too. Oh, I think the most poetic thing about him passing away, if you could say that, is so Vin Scully grew up a Giants fan.
Right.
He grew up a Giants fan.
He did.
And then obviously called for the Dodgers. And then they announce he dies the night or the day that the Giants are playing the Dodgers.
Right. That was crazy.
If that's not full circle, I don't really know what it is.
And they did a nice tribute at Oracle Park.
I liked how they waited until the end of the game.
Right.
Because during the broadcast they told us. That's how I found out. I remember I was
Right.
on my phone and they were talking about Vince Scully, and I'm like, why are they doing that? And I'm like, oh wait, did he die? And I checked. He did.
Yeah, because it happened right in the middle of the game. Or
And then after the game was over on the broadcast, they were like, I forget who the woman is who called or does the big announcements for the Giants.
Oh, Renell.
Yeah, Renell.
Yeah.
And so she was saying how Vince Scully died, and they put it on I think they did it out of. I think Larry Bear wanted to do it out of respect for the Dodger players. Too.
Right. Yeah, because they probably were not being told of this.
And some people might have found out.
Yeah.
Or maybe they don't have their phones though when they're in the dugout, so maybe they didn't. But yeah, R.I.P. to two legends
Right.
in respect to their sport.
Yeah. You heard about why Vin was a Giants fan growing up?
Yeah, because
His first recollection of baseball was
it was the Giants.
Giants getting their asses kicked by the Yankees in the World Series.
Yes,
he felt
exactly.
bad for him.
I didn't know about that until this week, but yeah, he was like, man, I pity those Giants. I'm gonna root for 'em.
Right.
So it's just I love hearing I love good stories, and him happened to pass away during a Giants Dodger game.
Right.
It's just
too iconic.
it's perfect.
And his last call was a Giants and Dodgers game.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. Thank
Yep.
you. And I didn't realize that last call was in 2016. I
Yeah,
feel like it was
6 years.
I feel like it was way sooner than that. But it was,
I felt like it was more recent than that as well.
I would have guessed 2018, 2019.
The funny thing with legends like that ride out their career as long as they can, it almost feels like they die the day they retire. in a way. Like, and this is not a great comp, but I kind of felt the same way about Joe Paterno when he got booted from Penn State. It felt, and he died not that long after, but it felt like it was one day.
Yeah.
You know.
The only thing I feel bad for Vin because he wasn't there for when the Dodgers won the World Series again. I mean, I know we don't want the Dodgers to win the World Series, but he wasn't there calling the games
Right.
when they won the World Series.
Right.
I wish he would have been there.
At least
for
he
that.
got to witness it.
He got to see it, yes.
Right.
But I think it'd been great if he,
If they did it before he called it.
because they didn't start going to the World Series until after 2016, recently, right?
They went in 2017 was
yeah,
the first time.
2017.
You're right.
So,
Maybe that was the key. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
so
But he had such a long career. He saw plenty of Dodgers success.
I think he-
in
what,
the
they-
80s and early 90s.
he broadcasted Dodger games for 67 seasons, I think.
Fucking ridiculous.
Ridiculous. You think we can do this for another 40 years, or another 65 years?
I'll start my watch.
If we keep drinking the way we are, I don't think we're gonna make it that far.
All I know is we just did a 20-minute intro, so it's gonna give me a long one.
It's all right. Now we can blow through all this.
Yeah.
Got some PSG news. Tell us all about it.
All right, so we won season opener against Claremont 5-0.
You got a new shirt. I got a new shirt.
Yeah, we're decked.
We are decked.
I would have wore it, but I had to rep this, which we're gonna talk about later. But yeah, Messi had a couple goals. Neymar scored as well. Mbappe did not play. He's out with an injury right now,
I don't
but
like that.
not serious. So
Okay.
they're just the El Jefe said that if it was a big game, he would have played. So
They clearly did not need him in this game.
no, and Claremont's going to be bottom of the table. So I think we're good start to the season. I can't remember who they're playing next week, but it'll be on Saturday.
So what should I say when I say go?
So
Paris?
so it's oh
Oh no, it's. I think I just saw.
it's Ise se Paris is how you say it. It's like this. That means this is Paris. That's like their chant.
Okay. But if I say go,
Go. Yeah. Oh, how to say go? Like go team in French.
no, not in French, but I just want to say like I don't, me saying go PSG sounds kind of funky, or should I say go Paris?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does sound weird.
I'll figure
Oh,
it out.
so go is the same word.
Yeah. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'll say go Paris.
Yeah. But yeah, PSG does have like a.
I think I just saw what it was earlier in the week too, and I cannot remember it.
What do you call those things? That
PSG like nickname
or
or
not,
like a
not even Nick, but like their. Not their chant, but their
slogan.
slogan. That's the word.
There we go.
They yeah, it's this. Ichi se Paris.
You think it's Ichi?
I think it might be Ichi. I don't know.
Not Ici?
It could be Ichi. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm not French.
I'm not French either.
We're pretending at this point. But good start of the year. My I know it's very early, but I still feel good about Champions League.
I was just looking at that. So go Paris.
Yes, go Paris. So
Big MLB news.
right, we had the trade deadline last week. I guess that was on Tuesday of last week.
And how do you feel about the Giants for the next couple of years, automatically now finishing in third place in the MLS?
We're gonna get to that.
Are we? Okay.
We're gonna get there.
Okay. Well, we're starting off with the Padres.
Yeah, we're
so
gonna
I
talk
mean-
about the Padres, so I guess you're in that realm.
Thank you.
So big trade deadline news. The Padres are clearly going all in.
I was just gonna say, the Padres are all
Yeah.
in.
So they've over the last couple of days of the trade deadline, they acquired Josh Hader, great closer.
Great closer.
Oh, the Giants lit him up last time we saw him.
Hey, Josh Hader looks like he listens to Alice in Chains.
Oh, probably.
Oh,
Yeah, maybe a little Creed too.
No, not Creed.
You don't think so? I want to know what his walkout song is now. You gotta
What
know.
was it before? Do
We just gotta figure it out. I never knew what it was, but he has to have one. Good closers have a good walkout song.
And he's a closer.
Yeah.
He's not
Pretty much,
He's not
yeah.
a relief pitch. Well,
No, he's a closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would think it's like Alice in Chains would. Or Rooster.
Rooster would be a good
Rooster,
one. Have you seen videos of when Edwin Diaz, the Mets closer, walks out?
I just saw Today. What song is that?
It gives. I gotta figure it out too, but it is. Yeah, it's chilling.
It kind of gives Mariano Rivera.
It's got big Mariano vibes, but it's cooler. I think it's got the horns.
I did see that. I saw it today actually.
Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh, dude, this is.
And is he badass?
Oh, he's
I saw this pitcher. Is it for the White Sox? Who's just badass right now?
Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
84. You got a weird number.
Is he white?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mustache.
Like his numbers right now are good.
Yeah, I think unless you're thinking, are you thinking of a closer or a starting pitcher?
It's just a pitcher. It might be a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
But he's like, I saw the numbers and I was like, dude, this guy's nuts.
Oh yeah. He strikes out like 13 guys.
I think it was Cease.
Yeah. First time All-Star this year. He's good.
Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, they acquired Josh Hader. They also got, of course, Juan Soto and Josh Bell. Everybody's heard that from the Nationals. Obviously we talked about, come to the Giants, Juan Soto. This is a massive trade. It's an unprecedented trade. You don't see guys at this age with this kind of talent get traded. But Padres got it done. They gave up a freaking haul to do it. Two guys that have already reached the major league level that were top prospects, and then two more top prospects, and another a wild card in the mix.
I mean, Bob Melvin, this is not what he's used to.
Dude, yeah, we're talking about walking into it just like... So he never even got to experience the bad part of the A's that they're experiencing this year because they were in the playoff race last year.
Yeah, he always had them in there.
They missed out, but they were in the playoff race last year, and he gets bought out and goes to the Padres, and
he's like, this is easy.
They're cashing in.
This is nice.
I think obviously we saw the Padres this past weekend get swept by the Dodgers pretty handily, but aside from that, when they get Tatis back, I think if you, especially lineup wise, if you can match up these teams and they're 1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. I think they both have a four-headed monster essentially at the top of their lineups.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's going to be about for San Diego. Can they put it all together? Can they be a cohesive unit? I know that's not how baseball really works. Mm-hmm. It's a very individually driven sport, but can you be that guy that when it's a runner on second base and 2 outs, not trying to hit a home run and just try and drive him in? And can you
I hate how baseball isn't like that right now.
Yeah, it is a very
because it's just like I understand you hit the long ball and it's you get all those runs, but
right.
why not try to just make the ball go and play?
There's no question that. I mean, statistics have probably ruined baseball in a way.
Yeah.
Because you look at the averages and like, oh, this guy hits 300 or however you want to go about it.
Yeah.
But it is such a situational sport. Such a situational sport. You got to be good at the right time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the Giants proved when they won their World Series.
I was just gonna say, Bochy was really good at the situational baseball.
Yeah. He managed his bullpen like a king, and they were so known for their timely hitting. It's not about hitting the solo home run every other inning. It's about getting the hits at the right time.
Exactly. Or you just driving runs however you can.
Yeah, and I think that is the biggest difference, and we'll see over these next couple months what the Padres can do. But the Dodgers do all of it.
Yeah.
They will hit the home run, but they just absolutely destroyed the Giants this past week. And it wasn't because they were just jacking the ball over the place. They were getting every hit that they needed at the right time.
Dodgers are far superior.
Yeah, no question about it.
And now the Giants have to play the Padres next 3 games. And I'm going to go back to what you said. Because as someone who never played baseball ever growing up, like the closest thing I ever did play is like playing softball.
Right. No.
To me, the difference between like swinging for a home run and not swinging for or swinging for anything else, I don't know the difference. So I'm just swinging and hoping for the.
Right.
I mean, I guess at least with slow pitch, I could try to make it go to right, but it kind of amazes me that there's players that are so good that they could try their hardest to hit a home run, or they could just dunk it.
There are there are players that are more built physically for the long ball.
Yeah.
I would say too, like the count can generally change your approach at what you're trying to do or the situation, like we talked about. But you don't I wouldn't say guys necessarily swing to try and hit a home run per se. I mean, if it's 9th inning and you're down 1 run, you're probably maybe that's what you're going to try to do. But the more you mechanically change your swing to try and do something specific, the less success you're likely to have.
So you're changing up what your natural motion
Yeah,
is.
I would say the best hitters in the league don't do too much different in any given situation.
Gotcha.
Um,
It's more of like if they just get a hold one better.
right. I mean, there's certainly times where it's 2 strikes and you got to run around second and no outs. You just want to get the ball in play and try and get that guy over.
Yeah.
But I would say overall, you don't necessarily change your approach too much at any given time. It happens, but
Like when you played baseball, in high school, or whatever. Did you did you when you swang? Did you just
I try to hit
swing?
the ball. I try to hit the ball hard. That's
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
I try to get my pitch and hit it hard.
Great way to put
Yeah.
it. You should try to hit the ball hard.
Yeah.
So
And I'm not necessarily swinging harder to hit the ball hard. I have my approach. I try and look for my pitch and I swing and it goes where it goes.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Another big move. Your Mariners picked up Luis Castillo, all-star pitcher from the Reds.
Should I get a hat?
They got some.
They
They got some good hats.
what's funny
Good
is
colors.
they do.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is there was a Mariners jersey in my work like a month and a half ago, and it's like I think it was probably too small, but it was a little foreshadowing, so I copped it and just worn it.
Should have, could.
Whatever.
If you somehow tripped over like a King Griffey Jr. jersey, I would not give you shit.
I think this Mariners jersey was just it did nothing on the back.
Yeah. But just throwing that out there.
I mean, if I saw a Griffey one, it was decent shape, I'd be like, you know what? Like this year,
Yeah. You'd like turn your head around and be like, "What's up?"
I used to always be a backwards hat guy. You know that?
You did, yeah.
I never wore my hat forwards like middle school, high school. Cause I always like skateboarding. I never liked it. Like the bill in
Right,
front. I always
right.
had it in the back.
You know who started that?
Ken Griffey,
Bam.
Kenneth Griffey Jr.
Kenneth.
Mariners are going. I told you, Mariners.
They're going on the way. They're not playing particularly great baseball, but they did get a good start out of Castillo in his first outing against the Yankees.
They're going to play well in October. I'm not
That's
worried
all that
about it.
matters. They're getting Julio Rodriguez back soon. He's been injured for a little while, so get some reinforcements there.
Shit.
We haven't talked about this guy enough this year, and he's doing some amazing things, and that's Aaron Judge. And since the All-Star break, he's got 10 home runs in 16 games, slugging .951.
That's pretty good.
We don't do fourth out anymore, so I'm just gonna kind of.
Are you done with that? Don't give.
I don't want to say it's over, but it's just on a temporary hiatus.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna throw a little few tidbits
Yeah,
here and
go
there,
for it.
and it might be a little nerdy. But he had a stretch of hitting 9 home runs in 9 games.
What is he at right now?
So he's now at 43 on the season. He's on pace for 64.
So he's not going to touch berries probably, unless he like really.
No,
Gets,
he'd have to hit 30 to tie in and I think they got 55 games left.
And I think what's bad for him is I think if he were to get on this stretch run where he's hitting well, they're gonna start just walking him.
I don't understand why they're still pitching to him anyways.
And that brings it back to Barry Bonds. Like, why were they pitching to him back then?
They didn't, and they still hit that many home runs. I mean, I wouldn't say they didn't ever, but
So you tell me like the balls he saw, he hit. Like
I mean, dude, he got walked over 200 times in one season,
yeah,
and he still hit like 45 home runs that year.
that's insane.
But yeah, what Aaron Judge is doing this year is unprecedented. It's
I do hope he breaks Roger Maris's Yankee record.
I really would love to see him at least get to 60.
Because that is the American League record for
It's 61, yeah.
Roger, which was the all-time record.
Until I think Sammy Sosa broke it.
I thought it was
Either
I thought it was
McGuire.
McGuire and Sosa.
Might have been McGuire first and then Sosa. Yeah. But those guys are just juiced up during the late 90s.
Yeah, I really hope Aaron Judge isn't. I don't think he is.
I'd be shocked.
I'd be shocked. It'd be bad for baseball.
Yeah, it really would be.
It'd be terrible for baseball.
But he's been amazing last couple weeks. Yankees, however, have not been amazing.
No.
Yeah, they're kind of. I mean, they have a pretty good whole lead in the division, but I think they've only won like 9 of the last 25 games.
Do they not have the best record anymore, or is it Dodgers?
No, Dodgers actually were pulling away in that department. I think the Astros have even caught them in the American League. Yeah, which is going to be big when it comes playoff time.
Yankees fans, and we know one.
Yeah, we know one.
Hey, they're afraid. She told me.
Oh, they want nothing to do with the Astros.
They want nothing to do with the
Yeah.
Astros. It's just bad juju.
Right.
It's not good.
I wouldn't put it past the Yankees to beat them in the playoffs by any means, but they don't want anything to do with the Astros. I guarantee you. I mean, the Astros won 5 out of 7 games against the Yankees this year, and the 2 wins the Yankees won were on walk-offs.
So are you gonna buy your Yankee hat for the World Series this year? When they play the Dodgers?
No.
That's gonna be bad.
I'll wear navy blue, but it won't have anything to do with the Yankees.
I don't think it'll be Yankees Dodgers because everyone's saying that.
I think it. I don't see. I really don't see the Yankees going to the World Series.
Who'd you say was going to the World Series when we
I
started?
picked Dodgers versus Astros.
You did.
Yeah.
I said Dodgers. Man, who'd I pick?
I think you went Dodgers and someone slightly off the board. Blue Jays. Oh, Blue Jays.
Oh, I
No,
see.
Ben Blue Jays was a popular pick to start the year.
They're not doing good though.
They're in the playoff mix, but they're not doing great. No.
Because I said the Twins last year, and that was not good.
The Twins should have been better than they were, so I would, yeah,
Okay.
wouldn't give you too much shit on that one.
I'm not feeling good about the Blue Jays, but the Dodgers are the easy pick.
Right.
We both picked Dodgers.
And the
World
Dodgers,
Series.
yeah, Dodgers are an absolute fire. They're the odds-on favorite to win right now. So,
Sad.
guess who's back?
Your boy,
Dude,
Jacob DeGrom.
Jacob DeGrom is back, and he is better than ever.
If you got a DeGrom Mets jersey, I would be okay with it because the history of the Mets have to do with the Giants, the colors.
Yep.
You just get one.
Dude, he's so sick.
Would you get the white jersey with the blue pinstripes?
I think so.
Because they wear white in the blues, right?
And then they also have that they brought that black one back that
Did they?
Garrett wears. They wear it like
Like the David Wright ones.
they wear it on like Friday or Saturday nights or something like that.
Dude, if you got that one.
Those things are.
But you don't
sick.
want to copy Garrett.
I don't want to copy Garrett. I'd probably if I don't even see myself getting a DeGrom jersey necessarily, but yes, I would probably go white with the pinstripes.
Do you think if he was on the Giants, they let him have 48?
Yeah, why not?
Pablo.
Someone on the Giants wears.
Oh, right,
48.
that's right.
I think Alvarez wears 48.
But I just know if DeGrom went to the Giants, you would pre-order a jersey. Or somewhat close, right?
I'd be over. Dude, he just made his first starts of the year. He's had 2 since he came back off the IL. Struck out 18 out of 36 batters he's faced. That's 50%. He's like a starting pitcher, but with closer stuff. Like he throws 102 miles an hour.
I saw that video you sent, or the group. It was
Where you went 101, 102, 101 or something like that.
like 3 in a row.
Yeah,
100,
strike out
over
1,000.
101 or over, yeah.
Oh, he's unreal. He throws like a 94 mile an hour slider. It's stupid.
Where would you rank him? Because I know you said that you think that,
I'm a big Pedro Martinez
you
guy.
think Pedro's the best pitcher of all time.
I think he absolutely should be in the conversation. I think DeGrom is better than Pedro Martinez.
You think he's better than Randy Johnson?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Randy Johnson was amazing. Even
Who do you think Jacob DeGrom is not as good as?
no one. I think Jacob
You think
DeGrom.
you think he's the best pitcher ever?
I think what he is doing right now is probably, and I can't speak about guys that pitched, in the before 1990,
Okay.
but what he's doing in this era is unbelievable. I mean, he's ridiculous.
Wow. I trust you because you know the stats more than I do. And I know you've loved DeGrom for many
Even
years.
before he reached his peak, I thought he was pretty awesome, and now he's on another level. He's ridiculous.
So you think he's the best pitcher in the live ball era?
I think you could easily make that argument.
Wow.
Like I don't.
What are his does he have any Cy Youngs? How many does he
I
have?
think he's got 2.
Okay. You think he's better than Clayton Kershaw at his peak?
I think he is, and Kershaw was great, but this dude is he's on Mars right now. Yeah. No, he is stupid right now. I don't even. I hate being so prisoner of the moment, but guys haven't done this. What he's doing. I mean, I think he struck out like 40% of the batters he faced like 2 years ago when he was fully healthy.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just starting pitchers don't do that.
Wow. So you're putting it out there right now. You think you'd be okay with saying he's the best pitcher ever?
He's already in the Hall of Fame, and he's been so injury riddled over the last couple of years. I still have no problem saying that. He's insane. And what Randy Johnson did in his heyday, and even Pedro Martinez was very close to this, but
Because those guys were facing like the juice.
they were in the
juicers
juice
and
era.
stuff.
Although Randy Johnson did say in his Hall of Fame speech that I might have taken a couple things, but
Did he say that?
he did say that.
Hey, he's already in.
He's already
Hey,
in
what do
now.
you say? Once you're in, they can't take you out. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
He can't take you out.
Your plaque's up there.
Why would he say that? It
Because
doesn't make any sense to me.
He probably wasn't really referring to like steroids, but he's maybe some kind of supplements.
Yeah, he's talking about beers.
Well, what did that pitcher for the Pirates do? He did like some hallucinogens or some shit.
Yeah, he threw a no hitter on.
on
I was like
it
Doc
wasn't acid.
Ellis.
Yeah, Doc Ellis. It wasn't acid, but it was something.
No, he did on acid.
Was it acid? Okay, yeah.
He threw a no hitter, but he didn't. Wasn't a perfect game because I think he hit like 3 batters in the game.
Because he was so lit. He's seen double.
I think I've seen a little 30 for 30 short on that.
Yeah.
Or it's like animated. I think it's really cool. I saw this dude. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it was a couple months ago at work. Some guy was donating some stuff, and he was rocking a Doc Ellis.
Really?
And I forget what it said, but I think it was kind of referring to him throwing a no hitter on acid.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a stud back in the day.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick on the Giants. This is not going to be quick, but hey, Barry Bonds, yesterday was the 15-year anniversary of his 756th home run.
Which
Record breaking.
broke Hank Aaron, who we
Right.
mentioned earlier.
Yep.
That's why I'm wearing my hat.
There
JK,
you go.
it's not
Bang, bang.
new hat, so I'm gonna wear it. Nick's dad was at that game.
That's crazy.
Yep.
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 I thought about that. And the Giants honored him by hitting 3 home runs. Mike Yastrzemski went yard twice. Tyro Estrada went deep.
And the Giants won the Bay Bridge trophy.
They did.
So
is
lame.
that this year? Is that new this year?
No, it's
It's
been
been
a couple
around?
years. Been a couple
I was
years.
like, God, that
It's
thing
lame.
is stupid.
But the only thing, the cool thing about it is the medal from it is from the old Bay Bridge.
Is that right?
I think so, yeah. So I'm okay with that. But
Only token. that
it's
comes-
the only trophy the Giants are going to get this year, so it's, you better enjoy it.
Oh, you don't think we're going to come back from 21 games back at the Dodgers?
Oh no, that's done. That's done. That's done.
No divisional crown this year?
Going back to the Padres, by the way, they're doing all this just for the wild card, mind you.
Oh, yeah. And they're not going to win the division. I think when they made the trade, like, I don't know where you're at in
I'm
your beer,
close.
but okay. It would be something miraculous for them, regardless, to come back. And now it's even more out of hand.
And what did I say at the beginning of the season? The Giants would miss the playoffs.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry, Giants.
I have more faith, and I usually like to be cautiously optimistic about my teams.
I'm not.
But
We know
the
this.
Giants have been bad this year. They are coming off that 2-game sweep with the A's, like you mentioned,
Yes.
after being swept by the Dodgers in 4 games, like we mentioned again. This is not a repeat of the last episode, by the way.
I think it's the first time since 1979 the Giants have lost 8 in a row to the Dodgers.
Fuck. Giants are probably bad that year too. I'm just throwing that out.
It's
there.
just not good.
I think the Giants were
My
pretty
dad
good.
went to the game on Saturday, the day game,
against the A's.
or no, the
Or was
last
Thursday.
the last game against the Dodgers.
Oh, so Thursday.
And that was the day game. The Kershaw pitch.
Yep.
My dad went to that game. Shout out to my dad.
Nice.
He got a new hat. He had a good time, but they lost.
They did.
It always cracks me up about my dad because he, grew up in LA. He could have easily been a Dodger,
So you're so lucky. that he
Laker,
wasn't.
like maybe Rams.
I
Raider
wouldn't
guy.
have known you if you were a Dodgers fan.
I mean, well, if my dad would have stayed in LA, I wouldn't be here right now. So.
But if your dad was a Dodger fan and you became a Dodger fan, we wouldn't be doing this podcast.
We would.
So thank God for your dad.
I'm still a good person. I just have shitty taste in teams because the Cowboys aren't good.
Still a good person.
I mean, if I was Laker, Dodger, like Rams or Raider guy.
Yeah, you're not James. You're right.
Yeah, so going back to baseball.
Holy fuck.
Sorry, yeah.
Hands are a little greasy.
Yeah.
There you go.
But the Giants have won 2 against the A's recently.
Yep.
2-game sweep, which is I thought the Giants and A's always did a 2 in Oakland, 2 in San Francisco.
They don't do that necessarily anymore. I think that's probably hard for the schedule makers now that we play interleague all year round.
I was gonna say why is it hard? They're right down the street from each other.
But just hard as far as the scheduling process goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Giants are rough though in the last couple months.
It's been bad.
16-28 since June 19th.
Bad.
53 and 55 overall. 6.5 games out of the wild card spot behind the Padres. They're the last team in right now, and that's who we play. Like you said, these next few games starting tonight.
Yes.
We got Blake Snell versus Alex Wood tonight. I think Giants win tonight. Should I put that
Is that
on
bold?
some gasoline?
I'll go even more bold. I don't think the Giants win any of these games. Is that bold?
We're just gonna take a shot.
I was gonna ask you. You're gonna take one anyways.
Yeah.
What's the?
I don't really think
What's
they're
the liquor we're drinking?
This is I got this as a little gift
Is that
from
Screwball?
from
Screwball?
work. Does it look like it?
It looks like it.
This is called Glendalough. It's a Irish whiskey. It smells amazing. Actually.
Irish whiskey.
Yeah, it smells really really good. It's got a little oakiness like a Scotch, but I can smell the sweetness. I think it's
It
gonna
all
be easy.
smells the same to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Remember just
So,
to
so
your
you,
yoga.
you think the Giants? Should I write it down or you remember this?
Giants are gonna win tonight. I'm not even gonna call that a bold prediction. We're just gonna take a shot.
And I think the Giants will win any of these.
They're gonna
three
get
games.
swept. The Giants don't beat good teams. That's for damn sure.
They're kind of like the Cowboys.
One thing, after this series though, the Giants play 12 straight games against teams that are well below them in the standings.
That is what we need. We need 12-game win streak.
So, I know I said that there was a make or break period right before the trade deadline, but I think this is another chance for them. Like, I mean, if you win 10 out of those 12 games, get yourself well above 500.
Yep.
Start sniffing up the Padres' ass. I think if they can win they can win 2 out of these 3 games against the Padres, that would make it interesting. If they swept them, it would be very interesting, but I don't see that happening.
I have no faith.
Yeah, I don't have faith in that, but I think they can get 2. I'm betting on tonight, and then give me 1 out of the next 2.
You're thinking like one tonight. You're thinking win the first and the last one.
However it goes. I would like to win the first and the last rather than first 2 and then not sweep. But
Yeah.
can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime.
Just like the Rolling Stones.
Giants did make some small moves. The biggest one they did make,
Very small.
yeah, the biggest one they did make was acquiring J.D. Davis for Darren Ruff, who I think Giants fans like Darren Ruff.
Which
For
is
the most
weird.
part.
Which is weird because he's our best left fielder. I couldn't even say that.
Okay. Yeah. The Giants in their defense just primo.
Could you see the smile on my face before I even said that?
I saw it coming. I saw it coming for sure. I didn't think you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say something sarcastic for sure, though.
That wasn't sarcastic?
No, I knew it was
Oh,
going to be something. I didn't think it was going to be that necessarily.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we don't have to watch that that bulldozer run around the left field anymore.
The first baseman playing left field,
Yeah,
bro.
that was rough.
Whew, okay.
No pun intended. I will miss seeing Darren Ruff hit line drives right at people. He was really famous for that.
Yeah.
I felt bad for him. He was famous for just hitting the ball really hard, but not in the right spots. But yeah, he's off to the Mets. They got J.D. Davis, which I actually think, considering everything, this is a steal for the Giants.
You think so?
And J.D. Davis has already hit 2 home runs as a Giant.
Okay.
He's had a rough year overall. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Mets had him DH a lot, and he's used to playing in the field, and I think that can kind of throw off a player's rhythm, if you will,
Yeah.
when they're used to running out on the field and then coming back into the
Yeah.
dugout. So I think him, and he's naturally a third baseman. He has played in the outfield a little bit, but they've played him mostly at third base so far. Not really known for his defense, but he's got a great arm. But yeah, I'm excited for his 10 years as a Giant. I think he has 2 more years of control after this year, so I think that's definitely a plus.
Darren Ruff, he was the one who hit the grand slam against the Dodgers at the game the Giants eventually lost.
Right. A few
That was
weeks ago.
Huge hit, though.
That was big.
Huge hit. We'll miss Darren Ruff.
Yeah. Yeah, Darren Ruff was a good Giant. He actually put up, if you look at his numbers overall, they were very solid while he was here.
Were you surprised that Rodon and Peterson were on the Giants after the trade deadline?
I thought that Rodon was definitely going to get traded, and mainly because his value to a playoff team could be huge. But I'm kind of glad they didn't, because they probably would have been taking pennies on the dollar for whatever they got for him. And a lot of people, I'm sure they wanted to see them either go one way or the other. But not that I expected, but hey, the Giants could go on a 10-game winning streak and get back in this thing.
Yeah.
And then you have your guys
Yeah.
here still to make that, potentially that playoff run happen. But they did not do that. And honestly, I feel like I've read and heard a lot of stuff from either Giants media or Giants fans that they should have done more, or should have done things differently, gone absolutely one way or absolutely the other. And I kind of disagree, because I mean, I think last year kind of distorted this whole thing because the Giants were so good. And by trading for Chris Bryant, I think Giants fans thought that, oh, this is going to, like, we're going to be all in all the time. And they're not ready for that. I think this organization, and people might be questioning Farhan, but he has a vision, and the vision wasn't necessarily to win 107 games last year.
No, I think they were playing house money.
They really were, but I do believe that the front office owed it to Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford, and Brandon Belt to trade for a guy like Chris Bryant to get reinforcements for a postseason run.
It was almost as if they knew Buster was going to be done.
I think they did know. I think because I remember Brandon Belt saying that he heard Buster saying that he probably was done even during the season, but obviously that didn't get out to the media. But I think the front office owed it to those guys to make a move at the last year's deadline. But that's not what they would have done, I don't believe, had things gone more like they are this year. And so I think Giants fans need to take a step back and realize that this is not, it's not a finished product by any means. You don't go and you don't go and spend money or make big trades when you don't have a foundation, and the foundation is still in the process of being built. That's why Farhan has been called a dumpster diver, and that's exactly what he should do right now.
But he's good. He's good at getting guys.
He's really good at it
that nobody knows about.
Yeah. I mean, look at Luis Gonzalez. That guy's been one of the best players on the Giants this year, and who the fuck knew about him before this year?
He's not a great outfielder, but he
has his times. He can play the outfield. He makes some questionable decisions, but he's still a young player, so I would give him the benefit of the doubt. But he's been probably one of the most productive players on the team this year. So I think Giants fans need to realize that this is a process. I mean, Farhan comes from the A's and the Dodgers, who both would build from within, and even especially with the Dodgers, people think the Dodgers are just like a money factory, which they do have a lot of money to spend, but they start by building within the team, and then they add here and there.
Yeah. So Devin sent me this TikTok about the Dodgers that everyone just assumes that they just buy everything, but they have a lot of guys who are from their system.
Right. I mean,
Mookie Betts.
That's like the one that really stands out.
And Freeman.
Yeah, and Freeman now, but Mookie is the one that really stands out.
And even Justin Turner, he got traded for pennies, right?
He was a minor league free agent signing and turned into something. So you got to give them credit for developing.
So they know what they're doing.
I think that's the way that Farhan wants to build this team and this organization. It's not going to be, by everybody. We've seen the Giants get burned on bad contracts in the past. I mean, look at Barry Zito. That was a terrible contract. Of course, he was a part of a World Series winning team.
That's why people forget about it. I didn't know that, but I think that's why I
but
didn't know that.
Barry Zito was never a key contributor to any team.
Yeah. He threw the game of his life, game 2 of the 2012 World Series?
In 2012, yeah. But, I mean, that was his one shining moment.
And it worked, but...
It did, yeah. But they didn't pay... that big contract at that time for just that one moment, They expected him to be an ace for 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Farhan is doing it right. Giants fans need to shut up and realize it, personally.
I think this kind of goes back to us Giants fans. We've been spoiled a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
So we all just want, we need it now, we need it now, we need it now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always work like that. We got lucky in a sense with the 3 and 5.
100%. Oh, we're super spoiled. Those teams on paper were not World Series teams by any means. I mean, they had great pitching staffs.
Yeah, who's to say what Farhan's not trying to do this?
Yeah. I mean, I'm so honestly, as good as Juan Soto is, I'm glad they didn't give up what was going to be asked to get him.
So do you not want to get Aaron Judge? Or would he be a free agent?
Well, so Aaron Judge is going to be free agent.
Oh, free agent, okay.
Yeah. Now, it's going to take a lot of money, and he's not exactly young. He's going to be 31 next year. So it would have to be... I don't imagine them going after him like terribly hard. I think he's going to be a Yankee for the rest of his career. But...
the Yankees would be... I mean, depending... if they win the World Series, they're going to pay him.
I would think so.
They're probably going to pay him regardless, but there's no way they can...
And he's probably going to win the MVP unless something weird happens in the last two months of the year, but yeah, he's going to be paid.
Can you, off the top of your head in any sport, remember a guy who bet on himself and it worked out this well?
You talking about Judge?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Judge is not necessarily in a position to demand anything yet, because he's not a free agent yet. But
wasn't he able to get paid the year prior?
So he didn't get a contract settled this year because baseball has a weird contract system for your first 6 years of your career. And Aaron Judge is in the final that 6th year of his career where he's in arbitration. So it can come down actually to an arbitrator, which is like a judge determining your salary, which is kind of crazy. They did finally agree to terms without going to that route, but yeah, it sounds like the Yankees have offered him a long-term extension, and it just hasn't come to it.
He's gonna be a Yankee.
Yeah, he's gonna be a Yankee. I'd be shocked.
If he was a Giant, though, I'm not tripping. He's from the area.
He is. He
I
is.
think he grew up a Giants fan.
Yeah, absolutely. He said he used to watch Barry Bonds back in the day.
Now he's trying to pass him in home runs.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah.
I'll put that on ice next time. It's kind of got like a nutty taste to it. See where we're going with that? No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not Screwball?
Yeah, right.
Same company?
Put it in a different label.
No, Screwball. That's like literally. It's like something I have like a root beer float or something. Throw a little Screwball.
Oh, I like where you're going with that.
Thank you.
Look at this guy.
You like that?
Okay, bartender.
Yeah, tell the Marriott.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
That was a long baseball
That
segment.
was.
Holy shit. So if we're looking for fourth out, just listen to this segment of this show.
Exactly.
I'm gonna stop this and
Okay.
then.
I wish you could cut this.
I know. I feel like there probably is a way, but
You can.
Yeah, we'll take
Okay.
it.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Morgan Hecker, and whoever else watches this.
Right. Maybe Danny on occasion.
You know, he says he's
He's a listener.
listening. He said he's been listening one since like June. Like he just goes back and listens to him.
Really?
At
Nice.
work, yeah. That's why all our numbers are bumped up.
Boost it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Danny.
I know he used to watch.
Yeah.
Because he used to comment on our videos. I don't know if you saw that.
I feel like every time I see him now, he's like, I heard you talking shit on the podcast. I'm like, that's not that much shit about you, bro. What are you talking about?
All right, let's move on to the NFL. Okay, you want to take it away?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson got suspended for 6 games by former judge Sue Robinson. I didn't know she was a former judge.
Yeah, she'll or a retired judge, whatever you want to
Okay.
call it.
And the league has appealed the decision in search of a larger penalty.
Yeah.
I think Goodell's trying to go for a full season.
Yeah, so essentially she was hired to be kind of an arbitrator, like we talked about. I can't believe they only gave him 6 games.
I can because it's the NFL and domestic violence.
But she doesn't work for the NFL. She got hired to do this investigation, essentially. And I don't know if this is the right take, but I'm just a little bit shocked that especially a female judge discovers all these things about a male doing these nasty things to other females, and she doesn't give more support to that side. I don't know. Am I crazy to think that?
That's actually a point that I didn't even think of.
Right.
I think it's something that I would think of.
And not that I think that it should be objective, but that just caught me a little bit.
I understand what you're saying. I really
Yeah.
do. That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just trying to be as professional as possible, or is it possible too she didn't want to give him too much because some people will be like, well, it's a woman saying this.
That's
and
another, yeah.
I think it's
side
too
to it.
much.
Yeah.
That's
It's another side to it.
it's a
Yeah.
I
I know ESPN is a little bit of a one-sided reporting process, but I really haven't heard anyone that thinks that he should have gotten less or shouldn't have gotten a lot more than this. I really don't.
to me it doesn't make sense to have this arbitrator if the NFL is already thinking about doing a larger penalty.
Right.
Just do it yourself.
Right. I think they wanted to try to be as fair, and they were hoping that she would probably hand down something like a 12
full
game
season.
Yeah, or a lot of a season.
To me, it's funny that the NFL, because they're such a, they're such a huge company. They're a monster.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have their own legal system within what they are.
Right.
I mean, I know there's law. I mean, I know everyone has to abide by the law. But why can't the NFL have these, lawyers and judges like inside their?
Right. I think that would probably come off as a little collusive in a way.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they probably don't want to go that route.
Or why don't they hire people for
They
them?
do like on
Yeah.
these occasions.
Okay.
Yeah, because they did hire someone who used to work for the NFL. There was also another former judge to do, I think, another investigation of sorts.
I don't think this is enough games.
No.
In the best way that, and one of the things I heard in one of the podcasts I listened to is, let's say there was like 3 or 4 women who came out.
Right.
Is it possible they all came together and said, let's try to ambush or
Right.
like ruin his career?
Right.
But it was like, what, 6 or
I
30?
think 24 were like actually
Yeah.
accused him of doing
Like
something.
you're trying to tell me 25 to 30 or whatever are all on this
Right.
together?
Yeah.
I don't buy
That
it.
that would be that's a very large.
Because
group
if
of
that's the
people.
case, this would happen a lot more.
Right.
If it's that easy to come together and try to ruin someone's career.
No, I'm with you on that for sure.
Yeah. And I'm not taking credit for saying that, but I just think it's a good point.
Right.
And I tend to agree women more, because it's like I'm the kind of guy who's I don't think I don't
It'd be crazy to lie about something.
exactly. I like to trust people, but I know that's not always the case.
Right.
But when you
Not
have this
everybody
many
trustworthy.
people coming together against one person, it's kind of like Bill Cosby.
Right. Now he definitely is guilty of something.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to make settlements with 20 of them, and then there was a handful left over.
I think the NFL will.
They'll boost it.
I bet you they'll boost it to a year.
I think
full season.
they're definitely gonna try for that. That's what's been reported. I could see it maybe just ending up being 12 games, but which would still be stupid because
Yeah.
that's almost a full season. But do you feel like, and I feel like this has been talked about, but do you feel like they're doing this to appease the outcry that came from when only 6 games were handed down initially?
Yeah, because I think it doesn't help with the whole Kareem Hunt, Ray Rice thing. I mean,
Right.
Ray Rice essentially got banned from the league because nobody wanted anything to do with him anymore.
Right.
Like he was like the poster boy
Right.
of the domestic violence because we saw it on tape too.
Right. If he was like 25 though, I think that might have been a different situation.
He was a
'cause
little older.
Because he was like at the end of his prime.
But to me, it's kind of like the Kaepernick thing.
I
It just happens.
I understand where you're going with
It
that.
kind of
for sure.
goes hand in hand.
Right. I understand where you're going with that.
And also, let's say going back to the the 25 women or whatever. Let's say they all were together and like, oh, let's try to just get one person to get a big cut, and then
Right.
we'll all spread it within our confines. How much of that money would really be spread out? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I feel like most people will assume that it's a cash grab.
Right.
So how much would that really go? It's not like generational wealth if it got cut.
No, you'd have some
Maybe-
vacation money.
Maybe 100 G's at the most.
Yeah, you have a nice vacation money and some extra
So,
cash in
I-
your pocket.
I'm not trying to be one. I'm not one of those guys who says, "Oh, well, we couldn't prove it." But it's like, fuck, man. Except this was like in college, or like, or was it like massage therapy?
I mean, they definitely she declared that it made some findings that he did some, disgusting things, and she even what threw me off is that she said she found things that were just outright, terrible, and still only gave 6 games. That just blows my mind. Are you like 6 games feels like a fucking slap on the wrist? Like that's nothing.
like a 6-game suspension for the Browns. You're thinking like, let's say we can win 2 of those.
Yeah.
We could still make the playoffs.
That is fucking money in the bank for the Browns if that's all that he gets.
Yeah,
eventually.
like let's say they go 2-4 in those games, they could still with the
You
extra
got a
game,
17-game season.
we could still.
All you
try
gotta
to
win
get-
is to win 10 games
yeah,
these days.
or try to
in
get in the
playoffs.
wild card. Because the Ravens would probably at that time have the division all not wrapped, but pretty close.
Right. No, I was expecting at least 8 or 9, if not a full season. And I will not be shocked if he does eventually get suspended.
And why would the NFL hire somebody, and that person who they hire doesn't look at the past
Right.
and not be like, well, these guys only got limited suspensions. Why not make it more from here on out?
I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't have all the facts on how she got chosen.
I don't either.
I want to say it was a mutual decision between both parties. The
Yeah.
Players Association.
But this wasn't. Do
And
you
the
think
league.
this is the same woman who did the Kareem Hunt and Ray Rice suspensions?
I don't know or I don't believe so.
I don't
know.
yeah. So I just don't.
I think she was just asked to do something for the.
And she's a professional.
I'm sure she's getting paid.
She's a
for it.
professional, and they did that way.
Right.
But
I'm sure there's a lot of fucking politics.
There's a lot of it, and we're not even scratching the surface.
Right, and I don't even know if it's worth getting into because at the end of the day, there's going to be an eventual decision that's made. The 6th game probably doesn't even mean anything at this point. It's just part of the process.
We're just two guys drinking beers
We are 2 guys drinking beers. Cheers to that.
in a computer room. I mean,
I think it's going to be. I mean, I do believe he probably deserves a full year. And that's not to say that it's not more or less egregious than what guys have done in the past and gotten less or more.
and I also
I
heard,
think the dynamics change all the time.
and I also heard, some people might be like, well, he already served a year because he hasn't played last year, but he chose that.
And the Texans chose that too.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't want to hear the whole he already served a year because he.
And I did at first think about that, but it's like, well, no, the Texans were like, we just don't want to deal with this situation.
Yeah.
So I
And they
totally
played.
get
And they
that.
played not all right, but with your boy
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills,
Shooter.
long neck giraffe.
Long neck.
We're done with that. In other news, DK Metcalf and your boy Deebo Samuel
He's back.
have both reached extensions with their respective teams. Metcalf got 3 years, $72 million, and your boy Deebo got 3 years and 71, roughly a half, plus $2 million incentives.
I think they have the same agent.
Yeah,
Isn't that ironic?
wasn't
It
surprised.
makes exact sense.
I would like to know what the agent and player who has the most.
I wonder how much that affects deals,
Mm-hmm.
like because, I mean, maybe DK and Deebo are buddies out the field.
It could be.
But very good chance.
They
you
play
know.
each other twice a year.
Right.
It's possible.
And one's like, oh, I definitely think I'm worth more than you. Do you think that could be a divisive situation?
I think it's fun banter.
I think it's an interesting thing to think about.
I don't think it's. I mean, I'm sure these guys are both, two of the best at the position, not top two, but like two of
Right.
the best at the position.
But what, I'm thinking about like if you and I were going for, we were both getting offers to do a podcast somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we're I guess we would be representing ourselves, but
Yeah.
in that situation, but we're like one's getting more money than the other. Would you feel slighted?
I mean,
It would be a weird dynamic. Like
if we're talking this kind of money, I'm going to tell my guy straight up. I never thought I'd ever
Right.
seen this kind of money in my life.
I'm probably with you on that, and even if it was like more money that I could have ever
Like if you got
imagined doing this
if you got 75 and I got like 25 million, I'd be like, I mean, I know what we do. You have done more, so you probably deserve it. But I mean, I'm still getting $25 million
right.
for like a
Well,
4-year
well,
contract.
think more along the lines of like a salary and a half versus a
No,
salary.
I know what you
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
They probably do fuck around, but I don't think it's.
yeah.
I don't think it's.
I'm pretty sure that they have the same agent. I could be wrong there.
Was it like Rosenhaus or something?
No, I don't think it's either. I don't think it's him, but he is one of the bigger NFL guys. Yeah.
I think Debo deserves more money than Metcalf.
I think Debo's proven, especially last year, he proved a lot in his worth to the Niners.
I think Metcalf, kind of,
He's
he's gonna be doing all right because he got paid based off the Russell Wilson stuff.
right.
And now
It's
he's
gonna
gonna
be
And now he's gonna have
interesting time.
Drew Lock and
Yeah.
Geno Smith.
Another funny thing too is that both these guys chose slightly shorter deals than most guys would, but it kind of sets them up to be free agents, I think, when they're like 27, 28,
Mm.
which could be set up for another big deal if they're still
Wait,
playing
they're
well.
younger than that?
Yeah, I think Debo's only 25 and Metcalf is like 24, 25. Yeah.
Dude. When I see these guys, I'm like, these are grown men.
Oh, yeah.
And they're,
Football players are unique.
and they're younger by many years on this.
Yeah.
That's gross.
The football players are unique, man. But they're set up nicely. They could make another big payday.
Well, then the whole Debo thing is he wanted to get paid like a receiver,
Right.
Even though he gets
And-
used as like a kind of a hybrid.
Right, and the other big thing though
He's like a rich man's Dexter McCluster, which I've said in the past.
a very rich man.
very very rich
Yeah.
man's Dexter McCluster.
He's a millionaire's Dexter.
Yes, he's very good.
Some of the incentives are based on some of his rushing
Wow.
statistics, if you will.
So the whole thing with him wanting not to rush was all bullshit.
So yeah, it's something apparently so.
So he's gonna be rushing a lot this year.
I would think so. I think it said
Like
I
$2
think
million.
One of the parts of the incentives, and it's not the full 2 million, but one of the parts of the incentives was that if he ran for 380 yards last season during the regular season.
I feel like it was more, but yeah. No, you're probably right, but you're right. But
and it felt like more because he did like 99% of that in the second half of the year. But anyways, and he did a lot in the playoffs.
well, and also I think that breakaway
another.
that breakaway touchdown against the Cowboys, I was like, I hate this motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
So if he breaks that, that's a big part of the incentive bonus. If he does 380 yards in any
So the
season.
Niners,
In any of these next 2 seasons.
they fooled all of us, and they're all on the same page.
Pretty much. I think Debo was definitely trying to leverage himself. The Niners were not offering him $24 million a year. They were not offering that initially. So I think he definitely won in a way. But I don't know, like we saw Kareem Hunt not Kareem Hunt, fucking Tyreek Hill get $30 million a year. Do you think Debo should be closer to that? Or either of these guys be closer to that?
I think it's different because I think Tyreek Hill had the best quarterback in the league.
Right. And
Or
a little
one
bit more of a track record too.
Yeah.
Slightly.
I think it's easier when you're a Super Bowl champion. You were part of the biggest play of that Super Bowl that you were in.
Right.
I feel like I always bring up that, what's it called, the spider
Spider 2 laughing ass?
or no, it's like the
Or the-
wasp.
Oh, the Wasp.
The wasp play. That was the third and 15 play. And
But yeah.
I think you get paid based off what you've been with, and I think that's why I said Metcalf got paid a lot because he's a great player.
Right.
But I think you're going to see this year it's going to be more of a struggle playing with either Drew Lock or Geno Smith than it was with Russell Wilson.
Yeah. I did look at DK's numbers the other day and I was like, is he actually one of the best receivers or is he just a specimen type player?
I'm not going to say any kind of like top 10s right now because I haven't really. I have to
Yeah.
look at a list of people. Who
I don't know that he really is. I think he's just more of a.
You think he's better than Tyreek Hill?
DK Metcalf?
Yeah.
No, not even close.
Not even. Nah. He's not better. But I wouldn't say it's not even close.
He's unique for sure, and Tyreek's unique.
Like,
Like
you
and
don't-
Deebo Samuel's unique.
You don't even think DK's in the same like ballpark as Tyreek?
I like if even the fact that Tyreek is a little bit older, I'm still taking Tyreek. Like if you're doing a fantasy draft
Yeah.
or something,
Okay.
way before DK. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. No, I think you're probably right.
I think Deebo Samuel was actually a much more valuable piece to his team than DK Metcalf is.
Yeah.
Based on what the Niners do with him, but that's another story another day.
I will be, I'll be honest. I'm not happy that Niners have Deebo Samuel back.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Damn.
But do I think it's the right move for the Niners?
They needed him
Absolutely.
back more than I think. More than I think I realized in the last few months.
You know what's shocking to me is I have not seen any of our friends get a Deebo jersey yet.
Deebo's.
I think now it's like if you're a Niner fan, why not get a jersey? I bet you Garrett will get a Deebo jersey. Garrett, if you're listening or watching, do not get a Trey Lance jersey yet.
No, it's way too early.
Too early.
I mean, he hasn't even. I mean, he now is the starting quarterback, but he has not been yet.
There's going to be some growing pains.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because if I was a Niner fan, I'd be like, a Deebo jersey?
Yeah. I think this past year will really drive his jersey sales.
I think what Deebo should do is kind of go the Ichiro route and try to just get Deebo on the back of the jersey.
Dude, that would be pretty
It'd
sick.
be pretty badass.
That would be super sick.
Like, who says he can't? Like, why can't you do that?
He'd have to do some legal name change stuff, but
Because his real name isn't Deebo. I don't know what it is.
I don't believe it's Deebo either. But yeah.
It can't be Deebo, right?
You
Well,
want-
it can
you want
be.
me to find out?
No, you don't have to. So Kareem Hunt, like we mentioned, has requested a trade from the Browns. And the question that you asked for us is, what team would be a good fit? And actually, I'm going to say, the Cowboys because he beats women.
Wow.
And Jerry Jones likes it. He had Greg Hardy come on. Why not Kareem Hunt? I'm not in favor for that, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, jeez.
Is he better than Zeke? He might be.
He's definitely. I think he is. I think Zeke's Zeke's kind of a bust. Do you want to know Debo's real name?
Yes.
And it's not even close to anything with a D.
No.
Tyshawn Raekwon Samuel.
Okay.
His full name. And Tyshawn, I'm saying Tyshawn because it's spelled Tysshun.
Tyshawn.
Because I was thinking Tyshawn, but it's Tyshawn.
I knew it wasn't Debo.
The Debo comes from the movie. I'm pretty sure I heard
From
that.
Friday, yeah.
I mean, but like, where does Debo come from in his name? But yeah.
But all jokes aside, I can't really think of a team. And the
I posed this question without even really having an answer, because it doesn't really feel like running backs are a huge necessity for most teams these days.
I would say maybe off top, like the Seahawks, because they're always bad at running back.
Right, and Chris Carson just had a solid career.
Besides Marshawn.
Right.
I feel like since Marshawn, it's been not good for the Seahawks.
Honestly, I was like, I feel like he would be the best running back in the Niners easily, but I don't know if that's like what Kyle Shanahan would want to do.
Well, he's not better than Debo.
Best player that can calls himself a running back on the team.
I mean, honestly, if the Cowboys did get him, then I'd be like, you know what?
I don't see them
They
having
don't.
any reason to bring him on though.
No, they had Tony Pollard in the
I
backfield.
think he's a nice player.
He's hopefully he put on some weight.
Yeah, he is pretty slender.
He's pretty slender.
Well, he's a change of pace back.
But also Zeke, I feel like he gained weight and then it's like totally threw him off.
Yeah.
No high hopes. Oh, speaking of the Cowboys, great segue. So the Cowboys, I'm telling you right now, Emerson,
Yeah.
the Cowboys as of right now today, with August 8th, 9th? 8th, August 8th.
8-8.
8-8-22. Also known as Michael Irvin Emmitt Smith Day. Thank you. I saw it today on the Cowboys Facebook page. The Cowboys right now, as we speak, are already 0-1. They are. You think I'm lying, but they are 0-1 because they are not going to beat the Buccaneers on Sunday Night Football Week 1. They're not.
All right, then that means
I am so ready for when. Remember, you said you want to try to call all the Cowboys losses.
yeah, I'm super
No,
down for you to do that.
I'm going.
I could do that with the Niners too if you want to just
Yeah,
make
that's
it really
good,
nice. Yeah.
But I know. Last time I checked the Cowboys games that they're going to lose for sure,
Okay.
and then I'll probably have to spread a couple, Eagles games, a couple like Giants games maybe, or
I think you need to pick all of them that you think you got to pick.
like week. And I can do that. I will do that.
I think that would make it more entertaining.
We will do our. How about for every week that we get wrong, shot.
For sure.
Fuck yeah.
For sure.
We're good.
And what if, like, say, what
No,
if
and
what if I'm right and you're wrong in the same week, and vice versa?
For every
Should we go bigger punishment?
for every week that you pick and you're wrong, you have to take 2 shots back to back. So let's say you pick week 4 Niners versus Seahawks, and you said the Niners are going to lose that game,
Yeah, and the Niners win.
and the Niners win. You have to take 2 shots back to back.
Only we're only calling losses.
For
Or do
the
you
lo-
want to do the whole schedule?
No, for the losses that we call, for sure.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough.
We're gonna be hammered during football season.
For the losses that we call,
We'll have to think about this.
Okay,
I think we should make a decision on the spot, but we'll do something interesting.
how about this? At the start of the season, except we're only have probably 5 or 6 losses probably for each team, right?
It won't be terrible. Yeah.
So if we're gonna pinpoint every week, and if our team wins the game that we thought they would lose,
Yeah.
we have to take 2 shots for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think something down those lines.
Okay.
I like where your head's at.
Thank you.
We're going big this football season.
I'm glad I remember that. No, 'cause the ones from me are easy. 'Cause I know I'm gonna be fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
your confidence.
I
I have a team that could be anywhere from 5-12 to 12-5. So
for the Niners.
yeah.
Oh well, okay. But just pinpoint the ones that you think they're
Yeah.
definitely gonna lose.
Yeah. Fair.
I'm not talking about every
Do
team.
you think I need to throw down like a minimum number? Like it's got to be at least 4 or something like that?
4 losses.
Yeah.
We'll go 5.
I think we might as well just pick the whole schedule and then just see how we do. Like from day one, we pick every win and loss.
For our respective teams.
Yeah.
And then if they don't win those games,
And we can figure out punishments.
okay.
As we-
No, we can do that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, cool.
Get ready, people.
Yes, you just heard that live.
We're about to be hammered every week on the show because we're gonna be so wrong.
I'm not gonna be wrong.
I'm not gonna do it right now, but I'm gonna put a bold prediction on that Cowboys Buccaneers game.
The Cowboys are gonna win.
Yeah.
I will make you do it this week.
All right. Is it time?
What time is it?
That was easy.
Time for last
That
call.
was easy. Last call.
I got some juice for this week. What do you got? Want to start?
Yeah, I'm gonna do 2, and then my last one's gonna be a random.
Okay.
So did you hear that Tiger Woods got offered $700 to $800 million to play for the Live Tour?
I did hear that there was a crazy number. I didn't hear that it was that number.
Could you imagine saying no to that much kind of money?
Especially a guy that is pretty much done. Like, he can barely make it to the majors that he plays, and he plays terrible.
To me, it shows what kind of man he is because he wants to stick to the PGA Tour. And this guy is
The
generational.
PGA
wealth.
Tour has given him everything he's
Yeah.
earned.
And he's been the poster boy of the PGA Tour for the last 25 years.
Yeah, 100%.
20, maybe almost 30 years now. 25.
And honestly, that kind of money, sure, it's not nothing, but it's not going to change his life. He's made so much off endorsements and everything.
You don't think? Well, no, his life's already changed. But I don't think $800 million, almost $1 billion.
I don't think that would make him much different than I mean, and unless he wanted to be some ridiculous investor in every thing he ever thought of, it's not really going to change it.
I was telling my mom about this earlier because I was doing my notes. And I was like, hey, did you hear that Tiger Woods turned down $800 million? And she was like, what? To me, it's because he's been the poster boy, like I said.
Right.
And I don't think you would see Tom Brady do this. You wouldn't see like LeBron, Michael Jordan do this, Peyton Manning do this. It's
Yeah.
just because he's just such a icon in the sport, and there's such a like the Saudis, and it's not good.
Right.
You know,
It's yeah.
bad reputation.
Yeah, it's not
So
a
I think
good
you know,
look over there.
you know, he figures, you know, my kids are gonna have generational wealth,
Right. No matter what.
and so I think I agree with you. Is it really worth
Yeah.
doing that?
Giving up reputation. Yeah.
Giving up reputation, and because he already has, you know, he came back and won the Masters,
Right.
but he had for better or for worse, he had that.
You know, his marriage crisis or whatever, and then obviously the driving accident.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Which was after, but.
Well, I meant to say earlier that he was the poster boy for better or for worse for golf for a little bit at the time.
Yeah, for a
You
long
know, he was great, and then that happened. He didn't win, and then he won the Masters, which was
Right.
great. So, you got anything?
Yeah. So.
I was gonna mention this, by the way.
Our girl Paige Becker, she's gonna be done for the year. She's not even gonna play a game this year. Torn ACL in training.
Sucks.
That's like the
For lack of a better word, this sucks.
right. And another comparable to this is like I've already seen so many reports of guys in NFL training camp like done for the year. It's like,
I saw Fred Warner's down.
how bad?
Not,
I didn't see that.
not ACL, but I think I heard Fred Warner got injured. But I don't think it's
Really?
not down
Yeah.
for the season.
But I hate like, and it's also in the same realm as Klay Thompson getting hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in training as well. It's just,
And I think you can make the argument that she's the best college basketball player. in
oh,
women's
she
basketball.
is. If anything, she is the reason to watch women's college
Yeah.
basketball.
And I think even after all this, I don't know if she'll be eligible to play after this year, but she'll probably the first pick.
Yeah, I wonder if she can redshirt this or not. I would think so. Yeah.
She's after this, which I hope it's a quick recovery, good recovery. She's gonna be the first pick in the draft,
Right.
whenever she's able to be.
Right.
So
But yeah, it's a bummer because she's a big
Yeah.
big reason to watch women's college basketball.
I do think UConn will be okay. They won't. Probably
I'm sure they're still going to be
dominate.
good, but they may not be the championship contenders that they thought they would be.
Yeah.
With her.
Brittany Griner got sentenced to 9 years for drug
Bro.
possession and smuggling in Russia. Can you believe that?
For fucking
Weed?
weed oil,
Or yeah, cannabis.
cannabis oil.
Cannabis.
Like,
She broke the law. She broke. The
sure,
law.
she broke the law, but think about this. When someone gets sentenced for 9 years in America, you think of them as a criminal, right?
Yeah.
Do you think of Brittany Griner as a criminal because of what she did?
No, I don't think she's
Right.
real.
Like what? Like this is it's
No.
fucking ridiculous. I know every country has different laws in regards to this, but I think I really truly, and I don't even have any reason to get political about this, but it has to be leverage based with Russia. Russia is a dangerous country.
Well, I also heard that, or I read, I think it was on like ESPN or SportsCenter's Instagram page, that possible prisoner swap from the U.S.
That's what they're probably going for, at the minimum.
And like, listen, it's coming from a guy whose dad has been to prison, not for this long a time, but has been to prison
Yeah.
for drug possession,
Yeah.
worse drug possession. Do I think my dad is a criminal? No. He kind of is, but he's not like.
Like drugs is a tough thing because it's like sure there are criminal charges for
Yeah.
drugs, but to me crime is doing something more like theft or
Yeah.
murder if you want to go even
Oh, yeah,
further.
exactly.
You know,
And I just, it's tough. I forgot what I was going to say again.
but it doesn't it just doesn't seem like they probably went for the furthest sentence they possibly could for leverage purposes. That's what it has to be in my mind.
Yeah, it just sucks.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
And of course, like, I think a lot of people will say, like, we should be trying hard to get her back. And it's like, yeah, of course we want to get her back to the United States, but Russia is not an easy country to deal with from the U.S. standpoint.
Thank you for reminding me, because that's what I want to say is, my dad, he broke the law.
Yeah.
The law was broke, and did he deserve that? I mean, yes, by the law, he did.
Sure.
Brittany Griner broke the law in a different country,
Right.
and she, that's what it is there.
Right.
And it's shitty, but that's just the facts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not over here saying, like, back in the day, when my dad was in prison for drug, possession, I was like, free my dad.
Right.
Because my dad did something wrong.
Right. Right.
And Brittany Griner has done something wrong.
Yeah.
Do I think 9 years is too much? Yeah, because I live in California, and over here it's all kush.
Right.
No pun intended.
Right.
It's all kush
Yeah,
over here, you know what I mean?
It is. No,
Yeah.
but 9 years is ridiculous.
But it also kind of shows how behind people and countries are on this kind of thing.
Right. I think that is part of it. But like I said, I think the other big part of it is that Russia's using this as leverage, 100%,
Yeah.
which is really shitty. And I don't think that people should think that it's so easy to get things done with them because it is Russia. I mean,
Yeah.
Russia's and not an ally of ours.
No.
Not even close.
No.
They're essentially an enemy or just a country that is not trustworthy at this point.
Yeah.
With their decision making, anyways.
What do you got?
So, like I said, I'm wearing this shirt for reasons.
When you let me in the house, I was like, this guy's wearing this shirt for a reason.
Finally, Kevin Harvick broke a 65 race winless streak.
Damn.
Right.
That's long.
Almost 2 seasons worth.
So he was winning races when we were at Rubicon, right?
When we were at Rubicon, he was at his peak. He won 9 races that year.
Yeah.
These last couple years have been rough for my boy, but he finally got out the schneid. He became the 15th different winner of the season, which is the most in this era of NASCAR where we have this playoff format.
Yeah.
Where 16 drivers make playoffs. So that has made some interesting scenarios where Martin Truex, who was actually 4th in points, would not make the playoffs if the playoffs started today.
Jeez. And how many has Martin Truex won?
He has won none, and that's
okay.
why he would be out.
Okay.
So essentially, it was thought of as a win and you're in type of playoff format, but since there has been so many different drivers that have won a race this year, it's making things interesting. We got 3 more races left in the regular season. Ryan Blaney, who was actually 2nd in points, has also not won a race, and he's on the bubble at the moment.
Wow.
So if someone else wins a race that not named him, he would be on the outside
Yeah.
looking in. So it's been a crazy 2022 in NASCAR.
I didn't see the top 10, but I don't think, did any of my guys get top 10?
I think Larson finished in the top 5.
Okay. No, I don't think
And-
he did he? I thought you sent I thought I saw the screenshot and you
Either top 5 or top 10. And then Christopher Bell won a stage, but actually DNF'd. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
You might be right.
Yeah. I mean, I can show you the standings right now. You are 10 points behind Garrett for first place. Looking pretty good.
Not bad. Not bad.
We're getting towards playoffs where points double. So, but yeah, it's been an interesting
Yeah.
season.
So, the last thing we're gonna talk about because it's gonna be pretty good.
Are you talking about KD or no? Because I just want to mention.
Oh, you want to mention KD? Yeah, go.
Just real quick, I think this is hilarious because he had a meeting with their owner. I forget his name, but he basically put down an ultimatum: say trade me or fire GM Sean Marks
Yeah.
and head coach Steve Nash. Your thoughts?
I don't really want to talk about Kevin Durant.
I didn't want to bring this up
I'm not trying
when
to-
I saw it.
No, but no, I'm saying that kind of jokingly. But I'm tired of going back and forth and back
Right.
and forth. I don't really want to talk about the Nets and KD until something actually happens.
Right, because I think this is 3 straight episodes where we've mentioned his name and nothing concrete has happened. But this is actually a big statement. I don't think I've ever heard a player say fire the coach or trade me. I can't say I've ever heard that before in any sport.
And it's hard.
And maybe it's been implied in some situations.
And Kevin Durant, he's still a great player.
He's still a very, very
If
good
a
player.
player could do this, it's someone of his caliber.
Sure.
I don't think it's a good look because you don't see LeBron James saying this.
But I don't think any player
People know, but it's not like LeBron's like, get this guy out of here.
Right. I don't think any player of his caliber should ever want to be in this position where they are saying fire the coach or trade me. He's a little bit of a mess right now.
To me, it's like you should just stay in Golden State. You want a better coach. You could have the best coach in the league right now.
For one, he should have. You're right. And two, he should be wanting to be with the Nets because that's the best situation he's going to have, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Any team that trades for him is going to have to give up too much, and they will be in a similar position that the Nets are in.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Can we make a pact about Kevin Durant, not talk about him at all until
Until he
he
actually,
actually gets traded, or if he doesn't?
he gets it straightened out. Yeah.
Cool.
I would.
It's like the Tom Brady retirement thing. When he retires, we're not going to talk about it. 'Cause
Right.
We already gave him his
Yep,
flowers.
we did. Yeah. And just make sure that's still
Yeah.
on. Still
What,
on
with
point.
Tom Brady?
Yeah.
I think the only thing we'll say on this podcast is Tom Brady retired. Next.
It's official. Yeah.
Next.
Yes.
Yes. Tom Brady retired.
So game.
Next.
So
Cool.
game.
I'm down.
But yeah, I'm with you. I think, and I really hope actually that Steve Nash and Sean Marks get fired because I think that'd be hilarious.
So if
I
they-
don't like
if they
calling-
if they get fired, should we talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that would be juicy.
Until they get fired or he gets traded.
Right. 1 and 2.
No more talking about it.
Yeah. So something is definitive.
Definitive, exactly. So last thing I want to mention, because this is a conversation that I had earlier today. So Sue Bird played her final game with the Seattle Storm, her final regular season home game. And the attendance for this game was over 18,000. And that is the largest attendance for a Storm game in their history. And I was telling Devin, I was like, well, that's, it's probably bigger than what Kings games gets.
Yeah.
And, we both started laughing. And she was like, I forget exactly how the conversation went, but we ended up going to could the Storm beat the Kings in a game? And I'm just gonna give you a little bit. So the Storm right now are currently 4th place in the WNBA because they don't have. I think it's just the WNBA. Like there's only
There's just one league.
Just yeah,
No-
so
no
like,
conferences
like
or
12
anything.
teams or whatever, 10 teams, 12 teams, so they only have like one conference.
Gotcha.
And the Kings, they did finish 12 in the West.
Yeah.
Not great. They're not playoffs. We know that.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of person who, you could be small and agile and good at shooting like a Steph Curry, but it doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
You get your Trae Youngs who are good.
Right.
But I do think basketball, for the most part, is very much an above the rim game.
Yeah.
And even in today's NBA, it's not, they say it's small
A
ball.
lot of shooting. Yeah.
But these guys are
You gotta be
still,
able to get
these
out
guys
there.
are still big people.
And
I'm
very
gonna-
athletic.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give you some. What's the word?
You got some numbers?
You got some numbers for you. So the tallest person, according to the ESPN app, on the Storm is 6'6".
Okay.
The Kings have 11 players taller than 6'6" on their roster, according to the ESPN app. So my question to you, Emerson Holloway Hip, who you got? I'm talking just one game, not a series, just one game.
Storm by 50.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I mean,
And I am a feminist to the core.
I'm not trying to be a dick, but the women's game is just not in the same realm as the men's
No.
game, and it doesn't even. I mean, height has a very big part of that, but I think just the skill level and athleticism is another factor.
Yeah.
No
I mean,
disrespect to women.
no.
It's just
And
a
it's not
reality.
even, it's not even me sounding like a homer because I'm not a homer with the Kings because they stink.
Yeah.
The Kings, I think, would.
I mean,
I wipe the floor, but I think they would beat the Storm handily.
I think that's about as egregious as saying that Alabama football would be the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean,
I
know we
kind
had
of thought
talk.
that too.
I mean, I think when people were talking about that, it's like, come on, dude, like, shut the fuck up.
Well, I was kind of thinking like, would like the best G League team beat the WNBA teams?
Oh, the WNBA? I think yes. I think, and that's a male genetics thing more than.
No, I said it, Devin. I was like, this is. I'm not even talking. It's genetics.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's nothing that we can do about that.
Would Sue Bird and Brandon Stewart give the Kings problems? I would say yeah, a little bit. Brandon Stewart's
Brandon Stewart's a
badass.
very good player.
I mean, Sue Bird, I'll tell you, she's 41.
Yeah.
Could she still get around De'Aaron
Is she
Fox?
really 41?
She could get around De'Aaron Fox, maybe.
No, I don't think so. Because De'Aaron Fox is young and agile.
I would say I got the Kings.
And I'm taking the Kings.
I would love to think what everybody else who's listening would want
Yeah.
or think too, but
I'll take Kings minus 40 in a 48.
like if they played a game to, I'd say 21, 5-on-5, 21 shit. Like a full like, what do you think the Kings would win by if they played them in 4 quarters?
At least, I would hope at least 40.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean,
They might be dicking around at that point too.
I was thinking 40, but I'll say 30.
If they're trying to beat a spread, like if like they
No.
gave the Storm 50 points, I think they would probably.
No, I would say I don't want you to pump the brakes at all. I want it all gas.
Right. Like I'm saying, like if you gave them 50 points, I think the Kings could beat them.
Oh, like a 50-point spread.
Yeah, like you gave them like right away, like yeah, you already have 50 points
Wow.
to start the game.
Also, the Storm would have 50.
So yeah, and the Kings would have to try and make up that deficit
Okay.
from
Wow.
tip off.
That would be more interesting.
That would be kind of fun.
Like the Storm already at 50-0,
Right.
and they're starting the quarters normally.
Right.
Wow.
I just wonder, like, how would the gals score? Because there's just so much more rim protection.
That's what I'm saying. Height.
Yeah. And not trying to be dicks.
No,
We're just
I'm
being
not. I
realistic.
am not.
We're just trying
This
to be
is something I
realistic.
told Devin. I was like, should I mention this on the podcast today? She's like, yes, because she thought the Storm would beat them. She said that. She said the Storm would beat them. And she might have been fucking around, but she had that serious look on her face. I know when it's there, believe me.
All right, Devin, we'll talk next time I see you.
Please.
And we'll play one-on-one. Because you're an average height girl, I'm an average height guy.
That's fair.
And I'm not athletic.
Like, yeah, if she plays me,
It's game.
she's like scoring 4 maybe.
You'd be giving her the.
I'd give her the 4. If we're playing to like, I'd give her 4 for playing to 11.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What's up, being mean? Cage?
Yeah,
I think I know why this episode is so long.
because we haven't talked in a week.
Yeah, there's so much juicy information over the last couple weeks.
I liked it though. Hopefully, people listening are like, "Oh, these guys are dragging
Right.
it on." I had a good time. This is
I'm
nice.
so we talked about how we got most listens in this amount of time in a long time. This might be the longest episode ever.
I think it might be.
I think it is.
And it's just
I think
us.
we're probably around like 1 hour and 36 minutes.
Wow.
37 minutes.
Look at us. It's because
Look at
we spent so long time on Vince Scully, a Dodger.
That intro was ridiculous.
Had a good time though.
I'm glad we made it. It's almost 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
You gotta get to dinner.
Yeah. Let's see. Ski. All right. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for watching. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok maybe soon.
TikTok, yes, we're coming.
We'll see you guys next week or maybe in 2 weeks.
Hey, we got preseason football. Already happened, by the way. Raiders, Jags, full slate this week.
Yes.
You ready? Who the Cowboys play?
I forget. I don't care about.
I don't even know who the
preseason.
Niners play.
I don't care about preseason.
I think we're playing the Packers, but
Cool.
anyways,
All right.
see you next week.
Peace.